review on conditions of a stipulated order of continuance.
And are there any outstanding issues?
There are, the defense has provided proof of progress on the issues outstanding, and I believe those are outlined briefly as well in the motion to continue. And we are still well within, I think it was a fairly recent stipulated order of continuance, so there's no objection to the continuance if that's a good date.
Counsel?
And Your Honor, for the record, Joshua Bruner standing in for Mr. Connor Jepson on Daniel Yaglin's behalf. I agree with what the city has shared with the court. Mr. Yaglin has made some recent progress on his SOC terms, and we are just asking the court for more time today.
So what are the outstanding issues? Just partly so that Mr. Yaglin knows what he needs to be working on.
Well, he has enrolled in the DVMRT. He would still need to complete that and pay the SOC monitoring fee.
I thought he paid it. It says defendant paid SOC monitoring fee $719.
Yes, Your Honor, he paid it today.
Yes.
So that's not an issue.
Yes, correct. Sorry.
Okay. If he's, I guess I'm wondering why we're setting another hearing if he's in compliance, and is there a reason for another hearing?
Not from
I believe the defendant also agreed to complete an alcohol drug evaluation as part of the stipulated order of continuance.
And that is correct, Your Honor. My client plans to have that assessment completed this week.
Okay, so there are still some outstanding issues. Okay, I'm glad that we.
Well, and if counsel can get those filed with the city prior to that hearing day, we will send an email or file a motion to have the hearing stricken.
Great.
Just with the evaluation or beginning the recommended treatment?
I think at this point, we're not too far into it. So just the evaluation, we wouldn't necessarily, would be fine. We wouldn't have to have a review. But then if we didn't see some reports coming in, if the treatment's recommended, 30 days after that, then we'd probably set a motion for a hearing.
So I'm indicating on her hearing may be stricken if the city has proof of substance use disorder evaluation. Is that the agreement of the parties?
Yes.
Okay. Mr. Yaglin, do you still receive mail at the address in Smyrna, South Carolina?
Yes, Your Honor.
Perfect. If there are any changes in that, please update it with the court.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. We'll see you back here on August 16th at 1:15 in the afternoon over Zoom again, unless the city is in receipt of the substance use disorder evaluation. But talk to your attorney before you don't come to court.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
We do have, I know a couple of the attorneys are working on paperwork before we're going to be ready to call their case. Mr. Peterson, are you ready on the PAC matter?
Yes, good afternoon. I think it's just for the payment of the SOC fee, which
Jordan Matthew PAC Y2000509. This is a stipulated order of continuance review. We are at the end of the stipulated order of continuance, and it looks like the conditions have been fulfilled except for, as counsel indicated, the 150 due or the 10 hours of community service.
Yeah, and I just spoke with Mr. Pack yesterday. He had forgot about it. He's actually was trying to log in here in just a minute, but if he gets that paid here right now, can we just maybe log back in within an hour or so? Would that be okay? Or do we want to set it over a week or?
Well, I mean, if he can get it all accomplished before the end of the calendar, I mean, I don't know how long it'll run. But yeah, I would hear it at the end of the calendar, certainly. If
okay, when's the calendar do you think will end today?
I'm thinking an hour is probably a safe bet.
Okay.
The thing is there going to be a delay if it's paid through in court or something like that?
Madam Clerk, do we get notice right away if he pays through end court?
Not always, Your Honor. Sometimes
got-
it could be towards the end of the
Okay.
day, so probably not today would be verifiable.
So unless he comes
Okay.
down to the courthouse and pays it, we won't have notice.
Okay, so he actually resides in Arizona now, so
So that's
that's
gonna
not
be,
gonna be.
I don't think he could get here in time. A calendar, I can promise you the calendar will be done before he can
Yeah.
get from Arizona.
Could we please reset this a week and he'll get that paid and hopefully we can get this all wrapped up next week? Because I did file the EIS victims impact panel eval, so I think he is in full compliance.
Next week is our jury week, so we don't have any review calendars. We can set it for the next available review calendar.
Okay.
Mr. Peterson, is this an SOC to an amendment?
It is. I believe it's an amendment to a reckless driving, I believe.
So just so you can be prepared for that next hearing, my take on it is the SOC is to an amendment. It's not the functional equivalent of a guilty plea because the colloquy is different and the advisements are different. So he would still need to plead guilty to the amended charge. In other words, fill out a statement of defendant on plea of guilty.
Oh, sure. No, I can do that in courts. No problem.
Okay, and yeah, I just wanted to give you the heads up so that you could get that all accomplished in advance. And per the local court rule, a signature is required. It can be Adobe sign or Nitro sign or some other secure, unique method. It doesn't need to be a wet signature, but there does need to be an actual signature from the defendant.
Okay, understood.
Okay, so with all that, let's. I'm sorry, I keep trying to add an order and then hitting wrong buttons. I think we can just do a notice of hearing.
And there's a previous speedy trial waiver through September 11th of this year.
So the next one is on. These calendars are just getting huge is the problem.
This one will likely be stricken if the.
No, it's an
costs are-
amendment.
Oh, I'm sorry. You're right. He has to be present anyway.
So the next calendar is August 16th at 1:15 virtually. Will that work for you, Mr. Peterson?
It does, Your Honor. Thank you.
Thank you. And can you confirm that your client's mailing address is still a PO box in Federal Way? It doesn't sound like it if he's in Arizona.
Jordan, I think you're on Zoom, right? Can you unmute? That PO box, I believe, is his parents, so he does still get mail at that one.
Okay. Okay. All right. Thank you, sir. We'll see you back here on August 16th at 1:15 over Zoom.
Okay,
Okay, thanks, Jordan.
thank you.
Antonio L. Holder, 280327241. On for a review. It's also stipulated order of continuance.
Good
We need
afternoon, Your Honor. Aaron
proof
Swenson, for
of-
the record.
Sorry, we need a proof of the DVMRT and the DV Victims Impact Panel.
Counsel, what's the status?
So, Your Honor, I'm standing in for Attorney of Record Lauren Wagner today. She has indicated she just received notice from Mr. Holder's DV MRT counselor, supervisor, that he's going to begin classes on July 25th. We can get proof of that filed. He also has the DV victims panel scheduled for August 20th. So I believe we're going to need a set over to get proof of this filed with the court, but
Madam Clerk, our calendar is enormous. The next virtual one, it's already 24.
Let me look to see if there's another day that we can get next month and do a
No
carryover.
objection if September is better, and I believe this one could be stricken if the with proof is filed.
I believe since the victims panel is scheduled for August 20th, something after that, so into September might be good, Your Honor.
Okay, why don't we do September 20th then? At 1:15, and that's a Zoom hearing.
Your Honor, those should be in person.
Oh,
'cause
that's right. That's right. At
yeah.
that point, everything's in person. I'm sorry, it still says in the calendar, it says virtual.
I'll correct it, Your Honor.
Okay. No, it doesn't. I made that up. Okay.
So, Your Honor, just to clarify, September 20th, 1:15 in person, and that hearing can be stricken if we provide proof of starting DV MRT and the victims panel before then.
Yes, and I'm writing that on the orders, just to be clear.
Perfect, thank you.
So council want to make sure you file those with the city
Sorry,
prosecutor's office. 'Cause that's who monitors the SOCs and
Yeah.
monthly reports on the DVMRT.
yeah, we'll get that filed with the city.
Thank you.
And Mr. Holder, I believe, is present on Zoom. Is that correct, Mr. Holder?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
So I'm indicating on here, hearing may be stricken if proof of DV victims impact panel and compliance with DV MRT have been provided to the city. Okay.
understood.
So Mr. Holder, otherwise your next hearing is September 20th at 1:15 in the afternoon, but that's an in-person hearing, so you'll have to come physically to SeaTac Municipal Court for that hearing.
Yes,
and
Your Honor.
Do you still receive, oh, you live in Spokane.
Yeah,
Madam Clerk,
I
we
can make it,
also
though.
have to have a virtual option.
Your Honor, maybe put it on the virtual pretrial.
Okay, that makes sense. But that gets giant too. This is a problem we're gonna have to solve at some point. Mr. Swenson, September 14th virtually, will that work for you at 1:15?
September 14th. Yes, Your Honor, that works great.
Okay. All right, Mr. Holder, so we've got you back to being virtual.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor.
Yeah, but get that stuff in and then you can avoid the hearing entirely.
Perfect. On
All
it.
right, thank you, sir.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Honor, thank you, counsel.
And Your Honor, I have a couple of matters ready.
Sure, who have you got, Mr. Puder-Tuden?
I have the Brown matter ready, and
Just
Mr.
to point out, so far, only one case that has been called had an actual order. So I never know what's happening, whether you're dismissing, whether you're continuing, whether, so it's really helpful if people put in orders for their hearings.
Absolutely, let me.
Yes.
And while I'm putting that in, this is Mr. Brown. He keeps disconnecting and reconnecting. His connection's been very bad. Mr. Brown, can you unmute?
Yes, sir. Yeah, I
All
can hear
right.
you now. It kept cutting off and had me to keep joining the meeting again.
And this is case number, bring it up, it's 9Z01393993 on for review.
And what are the issues?
Good morning, Your Honor.
This was I believe we had set this over for sanctions on law-abiding behavior violations that were already found.
And That is correct. There was in that felony case, there's some technical issues, and it looks like last week this was actually, or on the 7th, this was actually continued. They continued sentencing again. So I'd ask that this be set over again so that we can see what the sentencing on that is.
Any objection?
No.
I was crossing my T's, dotting my I's, Your Honor. I remember what you told me.
Mr. Brown, I have a feeling it's probably not your fault, so it's all right. We will continue this. Do you know when the next hearing is on your felony, Mr. Brown?
No, ma'am. Because I thought we were supposed to we were supposed to go to court like 3 months ago, but they keep, I don't know why. Like 2 months ago or something like that, when I signed the thing, but I don't know I don't know, Yana.
Okay. Let's do September 20th.
That sounds good to me, Your Honor.
Okay, and that's an in-person hearing.
That's Mr. Brown. That will be an in-person hearing. Want to make sure you heard that.
That's an in-person hearing?
Yes, you'll need to come to SeaTac for that hearing.
Okay, and that is September what?
September 20th at 1:15 in the afternoon.
Okay,
And do you still receive mail at the address on Davis Avenue in Renton?
yes,
Perfect. If there are any changes in that, be sure to update it with the court.
okay.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Brown. Enjoy your afternoon.
All right, you too. Thank you, Your
Thank
Honor.
you.
All right, thank you.
Bye-bye.
Mohammed S. Sahim, Y21014856. Virtual hearing on a stipulated order of continuance. We are at the end of the stipulated order of continuance. The defendant has satisfied part of the fines and costs, $150. There's still $500 owing. And he had to restart the SSE. So the parties have agreed to an extension. And so we have proposed a new stipulated order of continuance for 1 year.
So I guess I'm a little confused why I wouldn't just an order on motion, as a motion accomplish this. If it's in a
Yeah,
home,
I mean-
the defendant needs to sign it.
I think that would be fine. I'm fine with that. If the city's okay with that, we could step back and I could do just an order.
Does
No
the city
objection,
want-
as long as all those conditions that are in that. So clear.
Do you want to break out room with your client to discuss that?
Sure. And before we kind of get into anything else, Your Honor, Mr. Sahim's video is not working. I didn't know if that was an issue just before we get too deep into the case.
Can you confirm that that is Mr. Sahim? Do you recognize his voice?
Yes, for sure.
Okay, then I'll accept that.
All right. Thank you. I'll join the breakout room.
Council still in a breakout room with Miss Blair.
And I have Mr. Cheney's case ready. And that's case number 2A00598082.
So we were here on the issue of restitution.
That is correct. I'm in this case, Your Honor, I'm asking to set this hearing over again. My client indicated there's an insurance company. He's given them all the information. They're working with the insurance company of the AV to resolve this. Currently, my office doesn't have any paperwork on the matter, nor do we know
Not
if
an
the
alleged victim, this is post-conviction.
or post-conviction, excuse me, you're right. sorry for the technicality. Yes, the post-conviction, we do not currently have any paperwork on the matter, nor do we know if the claim has been filed yet. But we want to ask the court to see, to set this over to see what the outcome of their insurance companies working together will be.
Any objection from the city?
Well, this has been going on a long time. I understand things with insurance companies can take a while. Mr. Cheney has appeared. If defendant's continuing to stipulate that this restitution is still timely, it was requested within the 180 days. I won't have an objection to one more continuance, but I believe, like I said last time, I mean, we're kind of at the point where the city's just wondering why we can't enter a restitution order. And then, I mean, if it's satisfied through insurance and defendant can file that proof. We'll use the time to try to reach out to see if what the status of any claim is.
My recollection is it's substantial restitution, right?
Yes. Yes.
And defense has already stipulated that the city timely noted restitution, so I don't think there's an issue there. And it's their request, so they can't have it both ways. I'm going to grant the request for continuance. How long do you want to set this over to? I'm sorry, you're breaking up a little.
Right. I'd ask 60 days, Your Honor. I know that's a long continuance, but I just want to make sure that we can get some sort of answer on this issue before we come in, since this is the last continuance.
I think that makes sense. Any objection to setting it over 60 days till September 20th?
No,
All right,
that is now in person though, correct?
that is in person. Yeah.
So, Mr. Cheney, the next one would have to be in person. It would be an in-person hearing.
Okay.
Mr. Cheney, do you still receive
Yes.
do you still receive mail at the address on 30th Street Northeast in Auburn?
Yes.
Excellent. And so you're on EHM right now, is that right?
No, you took me off.
I
I
did.
think he successfully completed.
Yes. So isn't there an issue? Let me just look at something, because we got an email from the jail. Sorry, I'm confused by what I did.
I believe you granted the motion. There was some prior discussion that a defendant successfully completed 90 days.
Oh,
Without
pre-trial?
any violations, you would be allowed to
Oh, okay.
terminate. Yeah.
Got it. Got it. Okay, thank you. Okay. So there's not an issue. I just wanted to, okay. All right. Thank you, Mr. Cheney. So we'll see you back here and sort out the issue of restitution on September 20th.
Okay, thank you.
Catherine Laverne Blair, XZ0455672.
We done?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Cheney. We'll see you in September.
Okay, bye.
We are at the end of a stipulated order of continuance in this matter, and the defendant has complied. So per the terms of that agreement, city's moving to amend charge of driving under the influence to reckless driving.
And good afternoon. I'm Andrew Rubenstein from Jeannie Mucklestone's law firm, and we represent Catherine Blair, who's present on Zoom. That's all correct. We didn't represent Ms. Blair in the original SOC, but I have a copy of it, and that's correct. This is the end of a 36-month SOC. We have no objection to the DUI being amended to reckless driving. And I think
So
the
council,
purpose.
council, per the local court rule, a signature is required on the plea, not a /S/ made by you. It can be an actual signature, Adobe sign, Nitro sign, any sort of secure, unique method. But I do require a signature.
Okay, and I can't sign for my client?
You cannot. That's what I'm telling you, per local court rule. You're welcome to look it up.
Oh, I believe you, Your Honor. Well, does that mean we're gonna have to continue today's hearing?
There are various ways you can do it. You could email a copy to Ms. Blair, have her sign it, email it back to you and send it to the court. I don't know if you have Adobe sign, you could do something like that.
I have emailed a copy of this to her, like I think within the last 10 minutes or so, but I don't know if she can sign it and send it. I don't know how she could sign it and send it back to me. I don't. May I have a breakout room with my client?
Of course.
Thank you.
I was just sending council that message when you went into the breakout room the first time. But it needs to sign. I see it. There.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. How are you?
Good afternoon. I'm well. How are you?
Good. I'm ready to call the Omar matter. I hope the court's not in the middle of anything.
Nope. Ready for
Okay. All right. Perfect. And so, Your Honor, I know you probably won't see an order for this case, but I don't believe there's a need for a new hearing. Ms. Chenwell, you can correct me if I'm wrong.
Philip Danny Omar, Y21000073. The stipulated order of continuance And it looks like costs are paid, defendant complied. The outstanding issue were the law-abiding behavior matters pending out of Kent Municipal Court. And I believe those were dismissed, so the city's not pursuing a violation on those. Here's defendant has substantially complied. But let
I
me
think we
check.
might need an order.
I need to put an order of dismissal in there. I
That's the order
apologize.
I was thinking.
Let me put that in there. I was working on the motion to continue.
Congratulations, Mr. Omar. It sounds like the city has a motion to dismiss.
Thank you very much, Your Honor. Thank you.
And as soon as it's all done, I'm gonna sign that. All right, so sir, you are done with SeaTac. I'm granting the city's motion to dismiss.
Thank you very much, Your Honor. Thank you.
You're more than welcome. All right,
Thank you.
enjoy your afternoon.
You too, Your Honor. Thank you.
I should have said, is there any objection from defense?
No objection, Your Honor.
Okay, that's granted. All right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
We going to recall the Miss Blair's
Yeah.
matter XZ 04555672.
Thank you. Again, I'm Andrew Rubenstein representing Miss Blair. Is it possible to, if Miss Blair drives to the court in person, like in 20 minutes, is it possible to handle this matter?
Yes.
Perfect. That is our plan. She thinks she can be there in 20 or 25 minutes.
I'm gonna print it out right now and have it sitting at the windows for her. Just come to the clerk's office and you can do it. And then you can even log on, from your phone. From outside the courthouse, I think we must be lead lined or something. The Wi-Fi is just atrocious. So
Okay.
go back to your car and then call.
Oh, she shouldn't just go into the courtroom after.
There's nobody in the courtroom.
Oh, there's no one in the courtroom. Okay.
I'm in the scenic confines of my office.
Okay. Ms.
Okay.
Blair, do you understand? Does that work?
Yeah, so I should just go to the clerk's office and that will be waiting for me. Give them my name. Okay. And then sign it. And then do I need to do anything other than that?
Then you'll have to go to your car and log on. Can you go in the parking lot and log on to Zoom from your car?
The clerks can help you. When you're
Okay.
here, they can help you get onto the Zoom with your phone.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Excellent.
Okay, see you
So
in a
that's
little
what I
bit,
should
Ms.
do?
Blair. What?
Okay. Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay,
Thank you, Your Honor, I'll log back on in 20 minutes.
okay.
Thank you.
I'm gonna run out and just give paperwork to the clerks.
So I'm leaving, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Your Honor, we can call the Clark matter when the court is ready. That's Gregory Parker Clark, case number 2A 0159365, here for review.
It looks like the issue is restitution.
That's correct, Your Honor. I had a discussion about with Mr. Clark about how much he'd be able to pay. I know that the court has jurisdiction until the beginning of November on this. I was thinking in the amount of $170. Mr. Clark said he can do about $30 to $40 a month, and would in hopes of paying it off soon. But I think that would be a reasonable payment plan, at least that would get us to the end.
Does the city have any objection to setting this over to closer to the end of jurisdiction?
No.
Okay, and I'm sorry, when is the end of restitution, at the end of jurisdiction?
November 10th.
So why don't we do the last review calendar in October? Because our November one will be after that.
That sounds great.
October 18th.
That works great. Did you get that, Mr. Clark?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Okay, so that is an in-person hearing. All of our review hearings are moving to being in person, so just so you're aware.
Yes, Your Honor.
Sir, do you still receive mail at the address on South 166th Street in SeaTac?
Yes, ma'am.
Excellent. If there are any changes in that, be sure you update it.
Okay.
All right, we will see you back here on October 18th at 1:15, and you can pay in, certainly you can pay in pieces, just get it done by then, okay?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, thank you.
Yep. Bye.
Bye.
And I need to put the order in. Rick, oops. Once I do that, I have a matter ready.
I think we might be ready to recall the Mohammed Sahim matter, Y 21014856, an agreed extension of the stipulated order of continuance.
I'm just looking this over. I think this function serves the same function as doing a whole nother SOC. This is frankly the way I've always seen it done. And it looks like everybody's signed off. Mr. Mohammed, do you understand that you're waiving your right to a speedy trial in order to extend the SOC?
Yes, Your Honor.
And is that what you want to do?
Yes, Your Honor.
So in order to be successful in the SOC, you still need to pay the $500 and complete the stop sexual exploitation class, okay?
Yes, Your Honor.
And all the other passive conditions like no new criminal law violations remain in full force and effect.
Thank you, Your Honor.
I'm going to grant the request for a continuance, and are we setting another hearing for the end? I guess at this point, it's just if the city, if you don't do those things, we'll set another hearing at that time.
Mhm.
All right, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Mr. Mohammed, do you still receive mail at the address on South 189th Place in SeaTac?
Yes, ma'am.
Perfect. If there are any changes, be sure you update it with the court. I'm sorry,
Thank
Mr. Sahim, I should have said I got your name backwards. All right, thank you very much.
Thank you, Your Honor. Have a nice day.
You too.
Thank you, counsel.
Thank you.
And Your Honor, when the court is ready, I'm ready on the Valet Perez matter.
And that's Y22002654.
That's correct.
And what are the issues?
The stipulated order of continuance. And defendant was, I believe, for the last report filed June 1st of this year, he was terminated from DVMRT, and the 150 is still owing.
And Your Honor, that's admitted with explanation. My client indicated to me she got accepted into the program in March. It took several weeks to send her workbook. She ended up leaving the country for 2 weeks on vacation, and she missed the first 2 DVMRT classes she got scheduled for in April, and they ended up, because of her lack of attendance, terminating her DVMRT. She's currently back on the wait list for the Tukwula's Women Group. And I'm asking the court to impose sanctions at this time, since it was my client just at the beginning of her program, and
I
give
can't
her.
pose any sanctions. This is an SOC.
Oh, yes, excuse me, you're correct. And I'd be asking the city not to move to revoke at this time. If they are moving, given that she's was at the beginning of her DVMRT program, I'd be asking for a chance for her to have the opportunity to start it again and get into compliance.
Ms. Tenweller?
Given the non-compliance, the city does have to move to revoke the stipulated of continuance at this time.
And I would be just asking the court to not revoke the stipulated order of continuance, just because of the reasons I've outlined, and since she was just the very beginning of her DVMRT program.
Why did she leave the country?
It was on vacation, Your Honor.
So I see a choice made to choose vacation over fulfilling the conditions after waiting to get in.
And like I had said, she was waiting for her workbook, and she was explaining to me that she was a little unsure about when she was going to be able to start, because she was waiting for her workbook. And that is what she has advised to me.
I guess I don't understand that. What are they, that they didn't give her a start date for the class?
Apparently they did, but it was delayed in getting her materials for the actual program itself. And so she said she was waiting several weeks to get the materials. And that is.
What does that have to do with attending the class?
Because you work through the workbook to go through the class itself. That is, again, what my client has advised me.
Right, but so then that's not the start. I mean, I guess I'm confused. It's like, it feels like the cart and the horse keep switching places, and I don't know. I don't understand.
Your Honor, it seems like the bottom line is that she, didn't end up missing those 2 classes, and I understand she was not in compliance with the court, and this is my client's
But
first.
I mean, Mr. Pudertina, it's different. Like if she um, was waiting, made plans for a trip out of the country, bought plane tickets, then they told her the class was starting while she was gone. I can totally understand that. If she was given the court date, I mean, given the dates for the class, then decided to go on a trip and miss it, that's a different situation. Ms. Perez?
Hello, I would like to say, can I say something?
Mr. Peter Tudan, is that okay to you?
Yes.
You mentioned that if I had bought the plane tickets in advance, then it would be different, but that is true. I had bought my plane tickets in December and I found out I got accepted in March.
Do you plan the trip months in advance?
Yes, I planned a trip in December and
Did you
then
let Tukwila know that?
I did send them an email and I ended up missing the 2 classes anyways. I know that is, fully my responsibility. I wish I would have taken this a little bit more seriously. I'm sorry.
Well, I mean, certainly the city doesn't relish making the motion, but it still sounds, and thank you for the clarification on the timing, but it still sounds like defendant made a choice. I mean, when she was accepted in March, was she not told at that time when her start date for the class was going to be, even though she didn't have a workbook yet?
Well,
And then she knew it conflicted with her vacation. This was not a family emergency or anything like that. And all she did was email, did not receive a response, and decided to go anyway. I don't relish making the motion, but I think a choice was made.
I can also understand if you have a financial, I mean, if you shelled out for a vacation and you're gonna forfeit it potentially.
Oh, no, I understand that, but it doesn't sound like she really even looked into those options.
I do not know if my client looked into those options.
You want to talk to her a little bit?
I can definitely talk to her a little bit longer. Give me a moment. Thank you, Your Honor.
Madam Clerk, do you know if anyone is anyone else in a breakout room talking to people? In other words, are there any other people appearing?
1 second, Your Honor.
Okay.
No, that's it. Just Mr. Pudar Tudan and his client.
Okay, and so Ms. Blair is still coming back. Mr. Weistenner, do you have any information on any of the failures to appear?
I do, Your Honor.
Okay, starting with it is now 2:05. The following individuals had notice to be here at 1:15 this afternoon. Selau Alualu. Was summoned in for this hearing. No indication notice was returned. No indication he called the court. He has an order to keep his address updated with the court. And this is post-conviction. Let's see if there's any explanation. No, it looks like he resolved that. I don't see anything that would keep him in custody right now. I'm finding a failure to appear. Forfeiting the bond that's been posted and issuing a warrant for $2,500. Actually, how much was the last one? And currently has a warrant out of Kent as well. Oh, the last was for 5,000. I'm issuing a warrant for 7,500. He hasn't done anything either. Jaden Bellis, Y22034235. He was summoned in for this hearing. No indication he called the court, no indication notice was returned, and finding a failure to appear. This is also post-conviction. Issuing a warrant for $1,000.
I'm sorry, that was 1,000?
Yeah. Jesus Corneo, 9Z0885749. It's also, this is an SOC.
It's supposed failure to pay the SOC costs.
Finding a failure to appear, certainly for purposes of speedy trial. Issuing a warrant for $150. Mario Giorgiani, Y21005702. Had actual notice to be here. This case was set over on June 21st.
The stipulated order of continuance, it looks like he did pay the costs, but we did not receive proof of the alcohol and drug assessment and treatment.
Right, that he said he did at that last hearing in June. I'm finding a failure to appear and issuing warrant for $1,000. Kenny Gibson, 2A00594442. This is post-conviction. He was summoned in to be here. No indication notice was returned. No indication he called the court and finding a failure to appear. The issue is a new criminal law violation. Let's just see if that's keeping him otherwise occupied. No, that wouldn't keep him in. It currently has a warrant out of Grays Harbor Municipal Court. No, Gig Harbor, sorry. And out of Lakewood. And out of Pierce County Superior Court. Oh.
He does have pending
Pending felony in King County too. Let's see if he's in the King County Jail. I don't think so, unless they have him under a different name. It doesn't look like the type of charge that would keep. So a warrant issued on June 15th for that. And warrant was returned on the 12th. So I don't know if he's in custody, and he may just be under a different name. Maybe Kenneth rather than Kenny type situation. There are two Gibsons, but I don't know, neither is similar. I'm finding a failure to appear and issuing the warrant for $5,000.
I'm ready to return to this matter.
Okay. We're back on the record on the Angelina Villa-Perez matter.
Your Honor, after speaking with my client, she explained to me that she bought these tickets right before Christmas as a Christmas present to herself and her cousin. to go to Mexico from April 4th to the 11th. And she said, and she admits to the court that she did not fully understand the severity of the situation. This is the first time she's been through something like this. She's not super aware of the court. She understands that she had gotten notice, but even still, she was not fully aware of the severity of the situation before her. Going through it extensively with her, I know that she absolutely understands the severity of the situation and is, of course, very worried that this is going to be revoked. And I understand that she was not in compliance with this, and she understands that, and she knows that this was a decision for her to go on vacation. Given that, given her honesty with the court, and given
Mr. Pujertudan, you're pitching it to me. You need to pitch this to Ms. Chenweller. It's her motion.
Yeah, and Miss Chenweller, I would ask that you just give her one more chance on this. And again, I understand that she was not in compliance. She's back on the DVMRT wait list. She's trying to get back into this class. I would ask just for one more chance, given that and given her confusion in the situation. I believe and I fully expect her to comply with everything in the future.
I have reconsidered, noting that the stipulated order of continuance was 12 months as opposed to 24 months. And the defendant, obviously, it sounds like she's much more aware now of the severity and the consequences of having a domestic violence conviction on her record. Therefore, the city will rescind its motion to revoke at this time and agree to one extension with the new speedy trial waiver. Another 12 months.
And
I know she's back on the wait list, you said.
Yes, she's back on the wait list with the Tequila for Women's Group.
Okay, do you want to go in a breakout room and prepare that order with her? Extending the SOC for another 12 months?
Definitely.
Did Digby just used a motion to continue?
Okay, just a normal motion to continue.
So you have the speedy trial waiver on there, but then you have to fill out like what you're doing and why.
Absolutely. I'll be right back.
If you want, look at the one for who was it? Mr. Mohammed Sahim.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
You don't really have to put all the reasons in there, but the new deadlines would.
Yeah, okay. And particularly just so Ms. Valle Perez is clear on what's required of her.
Absolutely. Thank you, Your Honor. And thank you, Ms. Chenweller.
Thank you.
All right. And accept the breakout room one more time. Thank you.
Mr. Mr. Rubenstein, I'm going to pop out and see if the Madam Clerk, can you yell over and see, has Ms. Blair come by yet? Do you know?
I can try calling her too. I'm not sure if she's made it yet or not.
I'll be right back. I'm just going to go pop out. Okay. What? I wouldn't. She's here right now signing, and one of our clerks is assisting her to get on Zoom on her phone.
Thank you.
We're full service, man. We do it all.
Thank you so much.
So your timing was impeccable, I have to tell you. Are you ready, Ms. Blair? Oh, I'm gonna go pick up the paperwork.
And then camera. Okay. And there you are. So you're ready.
Okay,
Oh,
I think,
yes.
welcome.
All right, ready?
Yes,
Okay, I can't remember if the city's already made their motion.
Yes, he's moved to amend reckless driving.
Pursuant to the SOC, any objection?
No objection.
Okay, congratulations, Ms. Blair, on getting that amendment. So I have a document here entitled Statement of Defendant on Plea of Guilty. Towards the bottom of it, on the line that says defendant's signature. Is this your signature?
yes, it is, Your Honor.
When you reviewed this form with your attorney, did he read it to you? Did you read it by yourself or did you read it together?
We read it together.
And was your attorney able to answer any questions that you had?
Yes, he was, Your Honor.
As I review this form with you, please stop me at any time if you'd like to ask him another question, okay?
Okay,
Is your true and correct name Catherine Laverne Blair?
yes, it is.
And you're 65 years old and you've completed college?
Yes, I have, Your Honor.
You're pleading guilty to the crime of reckless driving. Do you understand the elements of that crime? In other words, what the city would have to prove in order to prove this what the city would have to prove in order to prove this case?
Yes, I do, Your Honor.
By entering into this plea, you're giving up a number of very important constitutional rights. Among these are the right to a speedy and public trial, to remain silent during that trial, or to choose to testify, to see, hear, and question witnesses who would testify against you, to have witnesses testify on your behalf at no expense to you, to the presumption of innocence unless and until a jury were to find you guilty, and to appeal a finding of guilt. Do you understand you're giving up all those rights?
Yes, Your Honor.
Reckless driving is a gross misdemeanor punishable by up to 364 days in jail and a $5,000 fine. Is that your understanding?
Yes, it is, Your Honor.
And I know your attorney and the city attorney have an agreed recommendation to basically just close this case out with a guilty finding, but the court does not have to follow that and could sentence you anywhere up to the maximum. Is that your understanding?
Yes, it is, Your Honor.
You understand in the event you're not a citizen, a guilty finding on this charge may be grounds for deportation, denial of naturalization, or exclusion from the United States.
I understand, Your Honor.
Do you understand by virtue of being found guilty of this charge, your driver's license will be suspended for no less than 30 days?
I understand, Your Honor.
Did anyone make any promises to you to get you to enter into this plea?
No, Your Honor.
Did anyone make any threats to get you to enter into this plea?
No, Your Honor.
Are you doing this of your own free will?
Yes, I am, Your Honor.
In paragraph 11, there's a statement that reads, on May 17th, 2020 in SeaTac, Washington, I drove a motor vehicle with willful disregard for the safety of property. I know your attorney wrote that statement, but do you adopt it as your own statement?
Yes, I do, Your Honor.
Is it a true statement?
It is a true statement. Yes, Your Honor.
As to the crime of reckless driving, how do you plead?
I plead guilty.
I'll accept the plea. I do believe it's knowingly, voluntarily, intelligently made, and there's a factual basis to support it. Ms. Chenweller?
Nothing beyond the agreed recommendation. Thank you.
Mr. Rubenstein?
Nothing further except for, I think it's just an agreement to close the case. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Blair, is there anything that you'd like to say?
No, Your Honor.
I'm going to follow the agreed recommendation, impose a sentence of 0 days in jail. Is there any credit for time served? Were you arrested on this originally, Ms. Blair?
Yes, I was. I did serve time.
You weren't in custody at the arraignment.
No, Your Honor, I was taken into custody at that time.
But I don't think they took you into
I
jail.
was released.
Right, they just released you from the police station, right?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, so that's not
Okay.
jail. It may have felt like jail, but it's not jail. Okay. So 0 days in jail with 0 days credit for time served. And was there a recommendation regarding a fine? I don't see that address. Oh, fine, $0. Okay. And a fine of $0. So the case just closes.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Then he mandatory license
Pardon?
DOL. I think defendant has acknowledged, understands a mandatory license suspension per DOL.
Right. I mean, that was part of the plea colloquy, and that's a DOL issue. I mean, that's not a function of sentence. That's an issue for DOL.
She was suspended 3 years ago, so she should get credit.
Okay, perfect. All right, congratulations, Ms. Blair. You are done with SeaTac.
Thank you so much, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Enjoy your afternoon.
Thank you, counsel.
Okay.
Thank you, Your Honor. Thanks for making this happen.
Well, thank you for,
Okay.
I know it's I made the rules, so I know that it causes problems, but it's something I feel strongly about. So thank you.
Okay, have a nice day.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Goodbye.
And I'm ready to finish the Ballet Press matter.
All right. Okay, so we're extending this a year to October 17th, 2024. Ms. Valle Perez, do you understand that you're waiving your right to a speedy trial in order to get this, to set this SOC out further?
Yes, Your Honor.
And do you understand that all the terms of the SOC still remain in full force and effect?
Yes, I do.
And is this what you want to do today?
Yes, Your Honor.
I want to stress to you the importance of completing everything. If you are found guilty of this charge, it is punishable by up to a year in jail. You would permanently lose your right to possess a firearm unless and until that right is restored. There's a mandatory $15 legal fine that cannot be waived and cannot be converted to community service. And if you get 3 of these charges, the third one's a felony. So you'd have your first strike against you in that regard. Okay. And misdemeanor domestic violence charges count for scoring purposes on felonies that are also domestic violence. Okay. So you start building a very serious history. So you go from a woman with no criminal history to a woman with very serious criminal history. Okay. So if you want to get this case dismissed, this is not optional. Okay.
Thank you. I understand.
I'm going to grant the request for continuance or to extend the SOC. Do you still receive mail at the address on Southwest 137th Street in Burien?
Yes, I do.
Perfect. If that changes, be sure you update it.
And Your Honor,
Can you talk towards your computer?
no problem.
It's still breaking up.
Let me mute and all right, can you hear me better?
Yeah.
Okay, for some reason, the mute and unmute fixes things. My client, she was asking if this could also be emailed to her. I put her email on the motion continue if that's possible.
We can do that.
Thank you, Your Honor.
And I'm sorry, I don't mean to butt in, but I just wanted to make sure, since it's an agreement between the parties, that the defendant is clear and agrees to paying the costs in full and filing proof of successful completion of the DMRT a month prior to the end of the new SOC term at the latest. So it'd be 6/19/24.
You'll need to have this completed, okay? This course completely done. The 6-month course.
You broke up right when you started talking. So no, you're fine now. Just keep talking. It's somehow
Okay.
like you start talking that it.
Okay. you'll need to complete this by June of next year. It's a 6-month course. You'll be able to do that. You just have to keep going to the courses and you'll be able to do that, but you need to complete it by June of next year. Make this your biggest priority, okay?
Okay.
All right.
I know we actually didn't put in there, but
I haven't signed it yet if you guys need to. make alterations.
council can always, if she gets approved early, since this is an extension, they wouldn't necessarily object to dismissing it early if that's all filed.
So
This is just no later than, and to give us some time in case we do need to summons her in, but hopefully we won't get to that point.
So
So I can put in here.
if you complete it beforehand, send the certificate to me or Mr. Ionati, and we will be able to submit it to the court, okay?
She can
Okay.
get the cost paid and the class complete.
Maxim, could you send me your email, please?
Absolutely, I can do that right now.
Thank you.
You just have, yeah, you would just have to contact me and draft that motion.
Let me know if you get it. I just sent it over to you. It just says lawyer email.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, all set. I'm ready for signature for me to sign.
Yes, I believe so.
Yes, thank you, Your Honor.
All right, good luck to you, Ms. Valle Perez. I really hope that at some point I'm signing an order to dismiss this case, not a sentencing order, okay?
Okay, thank you, Your Honor, and thank you, Ms. Chen Weller. Thank you, I appreciate it a lot.
Have a great afternoon.
Yes, you as well.
Thank you.
Take care.
Bye, thank you.
I'm sorry, Your Honor, could you go back on that amended for Catherine?
Yeah,
You didn't put the amended in the JNS. What is amended to?
oh, it just usually happens.
And we're not using the DUI, because usually I thought we use the DUI and it's amended to reckless on a DUI JNS, so it has all the conditions of. Sorry, I just caught that now and I didn't want to interrupt since you were doing the last case.
I'm sorry if I threw you off. I put both in there because it didn't.
And I just grabbed one. I'm sorry. Shoot. Can we just forward this to Mr. Rubenstein? It doesn't make much, well, I guess it gets reported to DOL, doesn't it? So
Yes.
yeah, it needs to be on this one. Okay. Did it not? It's not, because usually it automatically amends. I don't do anything. That's why I was missing it. Okay, there we go. I think because it wasn't an O court plea. Okay. All right, now it's done. Does that look right, Madam Clerk?
Hold on, Your Honor. So, okay, so then we don't need it on the DUI.
I did it on
JNS.
this one.
Oh, you
it.
did?
Yeah.
So do you want me just to merge the documents together for signatures?
I signed both.
But as far as the, oh, okay. I see
Um,
what you're saying. Never mind.
Can we just, Ms. Chenweller can certainly sign it now, and can Mr. Rubenstein sign it? Just we can email it to him for signature, or just ask him to pop into O Court and sign it. All right, where did we leave off? Terminica Humphrey, Y20027181.
I have no information, Your Honor.
She was summoned in for this hearing. No indication she called the court. No indication notice was returned. There are new criminal law violations pending. Let's see if there's something that would keep her in custody. Oh, she's got warrants out of Kent, King County District Court, Federal Way Municipal Court. Another one out of Kent. So no, I'm finding failure to appear and issuing warrant for $1,000. Oh, let me just look at another thing. Nope, nothing felonious that would keep her in. Joshua Miller or Millar, Y220232336. Currently has warrants out of Kent, Pierce County District Court.
I have no info.
He was summoned in for this hearing. No indication notice was returned. No indication he called the court and finding failure to appear and issuing a warrant. For $2,500. Dante Pollard we did, right? I thought, am I wrong?
Yes.
I'm wrong. Yes, I'm
Well,
wrong.
no, actually, that was set over.
Yeah.
That was reset to August 7th or something.
Right. Okay. Camonte Slaughter.
I believe this matter was only open for the restitution, the failure to pay that.
And I haven't heard anything from her.
It looks like the case is open. I mean, it.
Well, true. I think the
court has jurisdiction.
The only condition was the restitution.
Right. She actually called the court 2 days ago and was advised of the date and time. No indication what the issue is today. She hasn't called the court today. I'm issuing a warrant for $500. Goitem Wolde. Y190295570. This hearing was set at the on city's motion. Looks like he's paid the SOC fee. And Mr. Mato's not here either. And nor did he call the court. I'm confused.
It looks like, and there was no proof of the DUI victims impact panel, what was sent over. I apologize. Normally I try to get a hold of Mr. Mato before hearing to see if, there was a miscommunication or something. Should we note the failure to appear?
Yeah.
Let me
unusual. Mr. Mato
try to contact Mr. Mato and you can re-note if necessary.
Okay. We'll resummons.
Well, yeah, actually, I apologize. I think we would need to anyway. Let me just double check. This was an older SOC that the agreement was to an amendment, I believe. We need to be present anyway. Yeah, if we could resummons, and in the meantime, try to get that issue in the victims impact panel resolved.
Okay, so resummons. All righty. All right. Thank you, everybody. See you tomorrow.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.